What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Return of the Knicks podcast. It is the postseason time. 2023. We finished an 82-game season when the dust settles. We are the 5th seed in the Eastern Conference with a matchup against the Cleveland Cavaliers, a team that wants to return back to glory, wants to return all in, all one. It is the return of the Knicks, not just the podcast, the return of the Knicks back in the postseason. Fitting. A lot of stories to tell. For this postseason, all number one question on everyone's mind, the health of number 30, Juluis Randel. We're going to break all that down there as I had a full guest of panel that was supposed to join me, but just like the WWE, I guess they had travel issues because or Newman must have gotten the invitation caught in the mail because, as like I see, ain't no one here. So it's a little disappointing, but the show's going on like Vince Kennedy McMahon always says. So let's get going with it. First and foremost, everyone wants to know the health of Juluis Randel. He is doing some light practice, no full contact, according to Tom Thibodeau. My personal opinion with Juluis Randel is going to be, we're probably going to have him as doubtful, game time decision. Personally, I don't think we're going to see Juluis Randel until game 3 at Madison Square Garden, or even possibly game 2. Remember, and of course, before we get going, I've got the schedule for the postseason. We all know the game 1's this Saturday at 6 o'clock in the evening. I'll get the schedule up right now, fellas. It'll be Saturday, 6 o'clock, then Tuesday. So you have a nice break there, 2-day break in between from game 1 to game 2. You got Monday, you have Sunday and Monday. More days off for Juluis Randel. Juluis Randel hasn't played since March, just the 30th of March. And the more time he's off, the more time he gets that heel or that ankle healed, actually. And it probably, personally, if you see him until game 3, until the following Friday, we got almost a month off where he could probably ramp at 100% for Juluis Randel, in my opinion. So that's the schedule. So the first game in Madison Square Garden will be a week from tomorrow at Madison Square Garden on the 21st. What are we looking for in this matchup? Of course, we have a lot of different key matchups, stats. We're going to break that down here. I'm just giving a little time. Maybe some of the invited guests will finally show up. My goodness, the tardiness. This is, me personally, they would have been gone if I was a boss, but it is what it is. Here's the regular season matchup. The Knicks finished 47-35. The Cavaliers 51-31. Head-to-head, the Knicks have a 3-1 advantage in the season series. Now, we all saw that the Knicks had that same advantage. They actually swept the series against the Atlanta Hawks. And this is going to be a different series from the Atlanta Hawks series. Of course, different. This is a whole different roster. The whole look of the New York Knicks is so totally different. You can't even compare it. But of course, let's talk about these season ratings here. The Knicks were 11th in offensive ranking, and they scored 116 points per game. The Cavaliers 112. They were 25th in the league. Defensive ratings, the Knicks were 13th, giving up 113.1 points per game. Cavaliers were the number 1 ranked defense at giving up 106.9. Now, the home record, we all know the Knicks are 23-18, over 500 team at home. But look at their record on the road, 24-17. That doesn't scare you to go on a road down one game. The Cavaliers at home, they were 31-10, and on the road they were 20-21. Let me bring in a panelist. Hey, Gideon, what's going on?
What's cracking, slacking, homie? What's going on?
I'm doing well. We're breaking down here the Cavaliers. Knicks, I'm just starting it off here. We know that Saturday, the schedule Saturday is the first game of the season, of the postseason between the Knicks Cavaliers in Cleveland, then followed by game 2 will be Tuesday night. So there's a 2-day gap between game 1 and game 2. We were talking about the main question is Juluis Randle's health. Juluis Randle had light contact today. Me personally, Juluis Randle, well, it might be a game time decision, game 1. Personally, I don't think we'll see him until game 3. I have a feeling. I just got a feeling, a hunch that we won't see him until game 3. One thing I got to give Juluis Randel a lot of credit. Randel does play with a lot of pain. He is an Iron Man, a durable player that will play. If it wasn't for that sprained ankle, despite the fact that he drives us nuts, whatever, that we'll break that down in a moment, he's always there. 82 games, I'm there no matter what. Even if he's shooting terribly or he's on a hot streak, you could count on that man to be there for all the games. Unlike some other power forwards that in the league that don't even play, and their team is in a play-in, live and die, and it's not on throwing shade on Zion, but he don't want to play. Julius, right. He drives us nuts, but he's there. He's available. One of the best ability is availability, and that's what Juluis Randel gives this Knicks team. So you got to take the good and the bad, the pros and the cons when it comes to Juluis Randel. Now, I had a couple of questions. My first question I was going to wait for the panelists to come, but obviously we'll continue. The show must go on, like I always say. What impact does Juluis Randel have on the series? Let me give your thoughts real quick on that.
Well, if you're JR30, the impact that he has, you have a playmaking. You have Randall to get guys like Grimes involved, Quigley involved, off the catch, off the curl. Also, you can get Mobley in foul trouble, especially backing out in the low post and the pinch post. And with Randall on the floor, you get another rebound and a guy that can also play a point forward, because he could bring the ball up the court too, and a guy that can also defend, and he's very good as far as mobility wise. So that's the impact he has. Ball handling, good interior defense, can stretch the floor, can guard the interior, and post scoring.
Okay. See, the impact that Juluis Randel brings on his team, in my opinion, even if, depending how of a percentage of health he is, believe it or not, I'm going to say this, but an 85% Juluis Randel is actually going to help the team. And I go, you're nuts. You want a player to be 100% out on the floor because he's going to be limited. One thing I don't like you like him ball handling. I can't stand him holding the basketball. I don't want him nowhere near bringing a basketball up. I personally, that's just me. That's just my opinion and my preference. If that man never brings a basketball up ever in his career, I'm happy with it. I personally, because he behind the back, the dribble and the indecisiveness. See, Juluis Randel, when he's effective, he's an effective player whenever he comes and he gets the ball and he doesn't have to think. Can't get the ball, shoot, go in there and read and react, just like Tom Thibodeau's playoff system. I'm bringing Gideon back on.
Might feel something happened.
Just go with the flow. Read and react system when it comes to Tom Thibodeau's offensive scheme. And I think that's what fits for Juluis Randel at 85% hobble. Like you said, G-Money, one thing I like about him, when he can get a young second-year player, although Mobley might get Defensive Player of the Year. He's in the running. He's going to get some conservative votes. But one thing, like you mentioned, Randle's strong. He's got wide body. He has length. And if he's limited, if he's got to go to the post, I like him against Mobley. The fact is, in the postseason, you could get a quick 2 fouls on a Mobley, and you change the dynamic of the basketball game going the other way for Cavaliers. Do they have something to answer if Mobley gets in foul trouble? I know they have Jared Allen, but Jared Allen is going to have his hands full on another matchup, and we'll get to those matchups as we go. But right now, we're talking about the Randle effect and the impact he has in this game. If Randle could play down low and be decisive when he gets the ball, pass it, and see how the Knicks were playing when they were moving the ball with the high assist games. I understand people are going to poo-poo it and say they were playing against some teams that were out of the league, out of the playoff pictures. They were thinking about going on the cruise, whatever the case is. All the excuses of not giving merit of the Knicks getting into good rhythms, doing good things and doing one good basketball, high IQ basketball plays. I think that could be contagious with Randle, because remember, 2 years ago when Randle had his breakout, he had a lot of high assist games, near triple-double. So he's shown us in the past that he could pass the ball and he could fill out that assist column. And that's the kind of impact I'm looking for Juluis Randel getting.
Yeah, I agree. And another thing, too, also, if you're Randle, Don't try to do too much though when you come back. Because remember, you're just coming back from an ankle injury. Don't try to do too much. Don't try to be fancy though. Just play your style though. Remember, it's the playoffs. You don't need to be fancy. Just play your style. Exploit the mismatch. Just play. Go with the flow.
That's my point when I mentioned if an 85% Juluis Randle, I know everyone says you must be nuts. You want a player 100%. Might benefit the Knicks in a way, and that's the way I was trying to break it down. Because if he's 100% confident, he's going to revert back to those plays where we get frustrated with him. Too much dribbling. The ball cannot in the close here against this Cavaliers team who could close out and play well in the half court, and they are number one defensive team as we saw the numbers. You want them. You don't want them to get comfortable and set their defense against this team, because now you're forcing guys like Grimes and Quickly to take the shot with defenders on them instead of swinging it and getting the open look and getting the higher IQ shot. No pun intended to Quickly, but the better basketball play, and the ball sticking with Randle 6-8 seconds, you're letting the defense rotate properly, and that's not going to lead to some good offensive possessions. And that's my worry with Juluis Randle. That's an impact. That's a negative impact from Randle. The positive, if Juluis Randle stays limited because of he's afraid or wants to keep the injury at bay, he will play more effective.
I agree.
Because 85%, well, what is he going to do? Well, maybe if they leave him open, he could hit knockdown jumper, hit the knockdown three. If he's able to get in and command a double team, but passes the ball quickly, get the open man. And you saw how they were cutting backdoor cuts during his
in the middle too. Cut in the middle too.
And of course, that's not going to be too easy for in the postseason, because everything clamps down a little more. It's a little more physical, but you get into good muscle memory. You get into good winning habits, good basketball plays. That's what I want, because we had a sample size. It wasn't just a fluke through 2 games. This was a sample size of the Knicks' high assist games in a row. And of course, this is a team that went on 2 9-game winning streaks in a regular season. So they know how to win. They know how to play winning basketball. This wasn't that they got fluke or they got, it wasn't. They showed us time and time again, and they played those 2 different 9-game winning on different styles of games. Let me bring in G.
Hey, what's going on?
Papa?
What's going on, fellas?
Baby.
What's going on? How are you, buddy?
I'm going all right, man. Sorry I'm late, guys. I just had to take care of a few things. I was just trying to get everything done before I settled down and just started talking about these Knicks and the playoffs and all this craziness that's going on right now.
You're good.
We just on the first topic before. Let me bring you up to speed real quick.
Okay.
The first game is this Saturday, of course, 6:00, and game 2 will be on Tuesday. There's a couple games gap in between the games, the 2 games in between. We're talking about the health on Juluis Randle and the impact. I'm asking you the question: what is the impact you think Juluis Randle will have on this series in particular? If he's healthy, not healthy, either way.
Well, either way, I'm gonna say he's an impact, of course. I mean, we definitely need him. We don't need him. We don't not need him. You know what I mean? But for the most part, I still think we could push without him.
True.
We can still carry on, and I still think we can win the first game. I don't know if he's not playing only the first game. I don't know if he's playing the first game, but as of how I feel personally, I still think whether he's playing or not, we can still pull off the win.
It's possible. In the playoffs, anything can happen. I mean, teams get cold, and free throws missed.
And I feel like, not to cut you off, G Money, but I feel like, we got something to prove, and this is his time. If he wants to stay a New York Knick, this is the time to step up and show what he can do, and show everyone that his 8th seed wasn't a bust. You know what I'm saying?
Right. We'll get to number 1 in a minute with Rand. And again, like you mentioned something great there, G Ram. Game 1, you go out there and be honest with you, if the Knicks want to win this series, they have to go out there and take one of two games on the road. Of course, I like my chances for the Knicks getting game one with or without Juluis Randel. I think game one, there's going to be nerves. There's going to be a lot of nerves, a lot of unsettledness. What I like is the Knicks, if they play loose, you know what? We're coming here to win one of two games, and they go there loose, back at, no, not house money, but go out there, play their game. And of course, like you said, if I don't think Randall's playing the first two games, I think he's going to play next Friday at Madison Square Garden. But I think the transition game one, I think that's where the Knicks could steal the game in game one. But that's my opinion. They have to win game one. I think game one sets the tone in this whole series.
I agree.
I'm totally with you on that one. I'm sure G Money is too. And
I agree.
Game one is a stealer. We gotta steal that one, and there's no if ends but about it, because like you want to make a statement in the first game. So that's the only way to do it. Win first game, keep it pushing for game two. Now the pressure's on the Cavs. Let's keep it going.
Exactly, because another thing too. Remember, this is an inexperienced Cavs team. Remember, Garland hadn't been to the playoffs. Mobley hasn't been to the playoffs. Lamar Stevens hasn't been to the playoffs. I know. Danny Green, Mitchell, Robin Lopez, LeVert, Allen. Rubio. Raul Neto has been to the playoffs. I get it, but the main guys like Mobley, Garland, they haven't had their feet wet in the postseason. So, like you said, Jedi, you want to snatch the first game so the Cavs can have that doubt, like, New York is really uber duper scary in game one,
Right.
Yeah,
and I wanted to get to the second matchup there, guys, real quick on that one. Is Brunson versus Donovan Mitchell. We've seen last season how Brunson and this season alone, out of 19 possessions against Donovan Mitchell, Jalen Brunson has cooked him. I mean, he has totally embarrassed Mitchell one-on-one. And I know people have that spectacle, Jalen Brunson can defend. Well, the numbers don't lie. What's your thoughts on? Well, go ahead.
The numbers don't lie. And
I test too.
Brunson has Donovan's number, clearly. So, I think it's just how some players play different against other players. You know what I mean? Like, you might have a guy like Donovan Mitchell. He'll score on somebody else. He'll score a 40 game on somebody, but then play New York, and he'll have like 20 points against Brunson. Like, some players just can't play against other defenders, because at the end of the day, it just is something that even when I was playing ball, it was just like, I remember playing good against certain players, and certain players, they just they with you, they got you on lock. Like I play balls to this day. Like I still feel the pain of knowing when a defender is good, or like you just know, like, damn, this guy's gonna be on me like flies on rice all day. Like they ruin your day pretty much. A good defender ruins your game no matter what.
I agree, man. I agree.
Yeah,
and I agree. And also, it's not just the numbers. It's also the eye test. You see Jalen Brunson, the ISO, the jab step, the fadeaway, the post-ups, the nail, the elbow jump shot, the wiggle, the jiggle, the boogie, the Houdini, the floater. Man, he's just tortured Mitchell. It was a Brunson burner, especially that last meeting. The 48 piece. He destroyed Mitchell. I know Mitchell had 42 points, but let's use context behind that. He was killing Brunson the first quarter, but the last three quarters, we contained Mitchell. We contained him the last three quarters. If you use the eye test, though. Brunson was red hot throughout the whole game. And not just the scoring, the playmaking. Brunson was doing other things. Finding the other guys off the catch, off the backdoor, off the pick and pop, off the curl. So not only was Brunson torturing Mitchell of scoring, he was doing other things as far as playing good defense after the first quarter and finding guys involved. Brunson has been Mitchell's daddy, not only this year but last year too.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, that's his little son right there.
That's a good one. Now I'm going to get to another matchup, which I know that we've seen that Cleveland #1 defense, but they're not that big. They're not good in rebounding. The Knicks are actually a better rebounding team all around because they get it from everywhere, from just not the center, not just the forwards, but the guards. Manuel Quickly, Josh Hart, Hartenstein on the glass. And of course, one thing I like about this Knicks team all around, and I'm going to give the flowers to the Cavaliers in a moment because I think where Cavaliers have an advantage is a little bit of a dicey stuff, in my opinion. That's might overshadow the Knicks a little bit. But I'm going to go with the interior, with the rebounding. It helps the Knicks because their offensive attack it helps Emmanuel Quickly, R.J. Barrett, R.J. Barrett, and Brunson is those floaters, teardrops, where they'll pull Jared Allen or Mobley forward, where they'll get the fear drop. If they miss, you have Mitchell Robinson is going to be big, and Hartenstein with the offensive rebounds for the putbacks and getting those, or the lob passes is going to help them. I think the Knicks are going to take a book out of the Hawks playbook that they saw a couple years ago in the postseason with the Capella back and forth, and they're going to draw. That's why it's going to be important to see if Randall does play, if he could get Mobley in some foul troubles early, or Mitchell Robinson vice versa, to take advantage on that, because I don't think after they go down on the bench, they don't have anything up front beef wise that will give Knicks fits. Let me go with that. That's a little bit of a handful because I wanted to go where the Cavaliers I think is extremely stronger than the Knicks. But I'm going to go getting with your thoughts on the center, with the defense, with the rebounding on both teams, and the way to attack the defense of the Cavaliers.
For me, New York has more smarter rebounding, especially offensive rebounding, than Cleveland. Hartenstein, Robinson, Randall, Grimes, even Heck, RJ, Brunson, Hart, Toppin sometimes, Quigley. We have more bulldogs on the offensive glass, though. And we have guys who are quicker to the ball than Cleveland. Cleveland can rebound the ball when they want to. If you got to use some sort of context, Allen and Okoro did miss some games here and there, so we got to use some sort of context for Cleveland, though. I'm not making an excuse. I just want people to use some context with that. But we have been a very good rebounding team, though. And with the whole Quigley Grimes situation, I want to see a lot of give and goes with Quigley and Grimes, because Grimes can't get to the hoop at will, though. Because yes, Grimes can shoot the free ball, but Grimes does love to get through the middle and loves to get in the transition, though. Same thing with Quigley. I want to whole give and go straight to the middle, though, and straight to the left side of the back door. So that's what I want to see, though, if I were New York.
Right. How would you? I'm going to give it to you, G-Ram. What are your thoughts on the way they attack the offense? The same thing with the center, with the same exact question towards you. How would you attack the defense if you're the offense for the Knicks, getting everyone else involved?
I guess I would say that I'm gonna just try to bring it to them in the paint. I mean, like I'm gonna use the block net monster. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna utilize him and use him as much as I can. I'm gonna use Hartenstein. I'm gonna try to drill that paint as much as I can, because we got guys for that. You know what I mean? And we got our offense, of course. From the outside, we got Brunson, Randall, RJ. These guys are gonna put up the points regardless. And I just think we need to keep it like New York, real gritty style, and bring it to them in the paint, man, and get those easy deuces. Because I feel like those are the points that are going to be important come later on in the game. You miss those quick little easy buckets. God forbid we lose by 2 points. It's like, that's why I said, we can't feed off the three only, because I know we so thirsty to just throw up them threes like nothing, and we can shoot them, but we have those nights too where we can't drop them either. You know what I'm saying? And
it's okay
in the
to
playoffs,
it's okay to take mid-range.
And the playoffs is all, you got those first game jitters, 3 pointers may not fall down until the third quarter, you know what I'm saying? So we don't know, but I like the Knicks' chances of if they're gonna start off in the offense. I just hopefully it won't be a 3-point contest in the first quarter. I hope we start digging into them in the paint, and we start trying to get some easy transition buckets. I like it like that, and then once we read the offense, come second, and then the third, we can start throwing up them threes as much as we want, because we got that confidence now. we can hit those threes with no struggle.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm glad you mentioned that with the 3-point shooting. This is where I think the Cavaliers excel right now. During the numbers, because we're talking about regular season numbers right now. Cavaliers 3-point shooting are very lethal. From Dane for Wade, he shoots good threes. You've got Osman who could shoot the 3 ball. And Okoro's listed as injured with a wrist. He hasn't played either. He missed the last 6 games, so he's coming back. His health issue is another concern. Although I think it might be like a Brunson type of deal, injury, but he might be ready to go, with that. So I like the 3 ball from the Cavaliers greatly better on paper right now going into this matchup, that they do shoot the 3 ball better currently than the Knicks. But I just want to give a note. Quentin Grimes has made the most threes next to Klay Thompson, closing out in the last 10 games. So that's a big X factor going in, is Quentin Grimes here, because like you said, G, when you first start the game, the jitters. I think Quentin Grimes got prepared with this when he played that Futures Rising game when he balled out well. And I think when the lights get turned on brightly, Quentin Grimes, I think, shines. What's your thoughts on that, G-Man?
Well, I mean, you say when the lights are bright, I feel like this kid Grimes, he probably feels like he's in the garden still, no matter what house he's in. You know what I mean? And he's just like, it's time to step up. And I know Quentin Grimes is I know he wants to prove himself to the league and everything, and let everybody know he's a force to be reckoned with. But I just hope he doesn't get overzealous and just start chucking up. I hope every shot he's taking, he's confident, and he's just he's just not like, I'm having a bad game, then stop taking so much shots. I know a shooter is going to continue to shoot until he drops something, but you got to know when, all right, stop it. This ain't working for you. Take it to the paint, brother. You know what I mean?
Right,
so, right. I got confidence in the kid. The kid's nasty. He got skills, So I think I'm hoping that there ain't no playoff butterflies. I just hope he, like you say, he's just gonna jump right in and do what he do. You know what I mean?
My key for Quentin Grimes: don't be scared to fail. Don't be scared to fail. Let it fly. Let it fly, man. If you make, you make. Absolutely. If you miss. It happens. Just keep shooting until you make one. If it doesn't work, go to the hoop. Like what you said, go to the hoop. Utilize your dribble drive. Utilize your skill. Utilize your strength, though.
That's right.
And and also even play make. He can play make though. Grimes can play make. If you watch New York all year, he can play make with Hartenstein and also Mitchell Robinson too. Especially off the dump up pass, off the
G-Money, you are right. The boy's got some crazy passing skills. I've watched him all season long, and his passing is kind of crazy sometimes. I just be like, man. How do you get that in there like that? Like, it's just.
And he's a bloodhound on defense. Bloodhound on defense.
Yes.
Even Donovan Mitchell drops a 30 burger. Make it a hard 30 though. So, like you did, I know Mitchell had 42 last game, but he made a hard 42. Like I said, so if it grinds, like I said, don't be scared to fail. If you miss, you miss, but just keep pushing, just keep going to the hole, play, make, defend, use those dump up passes to get Hartenstein involved, to get Robinson involved with lobs, and just drive to the hoop like well. And if you open at the corner or at the wing, call for the ball and be ready to shoot. Though that's my keys for Grimes.
Yeah, his court awareness he's on point with that. With the
very high IQ player.
High IQ, without a doubt.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because I was going to say one thing I do love about Quentin Grimes is that he doesn't feel comfortable shooting the 3 ball to the corner. He is so quick and elusive to get to the basket, and even when he draws the defenders, he just threads the needle and makes that pass to find the center or the cutting player and get that assist for that easy bucket. And that's what I like about Quentin Grimes.
Very good slasher.
Very good slasher where he's above. And be honest with you, the way he slashed and his ability to hit the 3 ball has elevated him above RJ Barrett right now. And we're going to talk about RJ Barrett because I think he's a wild card here. 2 players for each team are wild card, in my opinion. The first one for the Cavaliers is Caris LeVert. He's a wild card. And RJ Barrett is a wild card for the Knicks. They could swing the series either way, in my opinion. Go ahead.
You know, Quinn Grimes, I mean, I don't know about for you guys, but he kind of reminds me of Allen Houston, kind of with more speed. You know what I mean? Because he got that crazy jumper, and like it's just like it's water. His when he's on, is water. You know, it's gonna drop. Yeah, it's gonna drop. And he for me, I don't know. He's just like I feel like he's like a faster Allen Houston, because to me, Allen Houston was always slow. Yeah, because he was like heavy up top. But you know, I look at him like an Allen Houston kind of player. You know, he could take it to the hole. He could give it to you from 3. He could give it to you from the 2. Whatever he wants to give you. Yeah,
it's like it's like you fuse Allen Houston with the slashing of Latrell Sprewell and the defensive jump start, and the defensive jump starts all in together in a big gumbo, and that's Quentin Grimes.
That's Quentin Grimes. Hopefully, just not with the, you know. Hopefully, he don't have a choke moment, you know, where he's throwing up threes and they're just
which one is he going to coach Thibodeau? Is he going to choke Thibodeau? Is he going to coach? Is he going to choke Thibodeau, or is he going to choke shooting the ball?
Well, if he wouldn't miss, unless the ball like rims out, that's kind of different though. The ball like rims out, like just pops out, that's kind of different though.
No, but we'll see. He's an X factor. You know, he's going to be. I think he's going to be fine. But the X factor, Barrett, RJ Barrett. This is a big series here for RJ Barrett. It's going to say a lot about his future. Yeah. How teams and organizations are going to see him in the NBA, what kind of player he's going to be, and what position of the tadpole he's going to be on the New York Knicks organization. You know, because remember, they picked him up as a 3rd round pick. He's got an extension, but boy, you know, you see that he's a hard worker, talented player. He not shooting the 3 ball extremely well. He's been shooting 25% from 3-point line. You know the Cavaliers are going to leave him open for some threes opportunities. I don't know if I want him to take those.
Especially at the corner. It's more of a corner.
G Money and Kev. I mean, this is RJ Barrett's what? 4th season with the Knicks?
Fourth,
right? Mm-hmm. Now, his time with the Knicks has been so up and down. Like,
tell me about it.
One season you think he's this guy is gonna be the all-star. He's coming along. Yeah. And then he spirals down the the rabbit hole again, and he starts struggling. He can't find his shot. He can't play defense. He can't take it to the paint. Yeah. Like, I don't know if he's dealing with some outside the court issues, like that's really mentally messing with him. But for me, I feel like RJ Barrett right now as a player is just a solid player. Like, I can't put him in a category. I mean, he'll give you 25 points any night, but he'll give you 10 points every night.
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. Streakier than car wax, yeah.
Yeah. So that kind of like, I mean, and the stuff is like, we know in our hearts that he has that potential to be something a hell of a lot more than just an all-star player. Like, he started showing signs of superstar. Like, he can elevate into a superstar. But then he backtracked again, and we're looking like, yo, what happened? RJ was, we thought he was that guy.
The way he conduct himself, like hard worker, the way his mannerisms on the court, the way and you could say it's true. What you said, there might be something going on a little bit with RJ, outside of the basketball world, outside the courts, because he's been bred from young to be that kind of player, all-star, possibly franchise player. And he's taking a step back here because also him losing his cool with Obi Toppin on the
having an attitude, Obi,
That's not RJ Barrett. You know, he's played with a lot of alpha males, like a Zion Williamson, who had all the different all the limelight, and Barrett was like second fiddle. Barrett knows how to play second fiddle. Also, when that first year of the We Here season with and a little bit last year with Randall sharing that spotlight, he knows how to play second fiddle. So like you said, there's probably something going on outside of basketball, or outside of basketball, that's affecting him on the court. The same thing happened to Randall. And of course, it's none of our business, but there was something going on outside of Randall's life last year, behind the scenes, that you saw reflect on the court, and all the other stuff. It's none of our business to say, but there was things. Yeah.
It definitely was affecting their play for the most part.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And, hopefully all that stuff that's going on in their life is cleared up and they can focus on basketball. We need them right now more than ever. With the playoffs, I hope our whole team is clear-minded right now coming into the playoffs, because we need everybody on their P's and Q's. We need everybody ready. We need everybody to throw on them, 1990 black sneakers. Let's go. Let's do it. Like, the old school days, play that hard D. And dude, I feel like as long as the Knicks play D for me, I'll be happy with an L, because I know the score is low, and that means they was playing defense, but that just means that the shots wasn't dropping, man.
It's gonna lead me to my next point, and I'm gonna use this point, this key first before the next one, which I shall leave the next one for. It's gonna be reversed. I shall leave this one that I'm gonna bring up should have been last, but I want to bring it first because it's coaching. The two head coaches for the Cavaliers and for the Knicks. I like Thibodeau as a head coach, X's and O's wise, over Bickerstaff.
Agreed.
But what concerns me of Thibodeau, is he going to make this a 7-man rotation where you've been winning with 9? Don't fix what's not broken.
Agreed.
Don't get cute. Don't go, hey, worldwide L, salute my guy, salute Lawrence, Chef Lawrence in the building, salute.
Worldwide L, salute, brother.
Salute, what's cracking, slacking.
So don't break what's not broken. L, if you want to join us, let me know. I'll throw the signal out there, man. You're more than welcome to come on and talk a little Knick basketball, my brother. Definitely would love to have you on if you're available. So, yeah,
Hey, let me ask you something. When let's say, we're in the game, whatever, everything's going good for us. It's the third quarter. You want everybody to play. And you got two players. I mean, I'm not going to say somebody's name, but you got 2 players that's cooking, right? Now, do you keep them playing until they're not cooking no more, or do you still sub them to just have our guys in rotation? How do you feel about that?
See, I'm one who, when I do a lot of the watch-alongs, I always say, take a pulse, take a temperature of what the game is cooking right now. What's going on? Who's hot right now? Now, if you're don't have to pull both of them off at the, if you could bring in another person who's going to benefit you, do something contrast from what the one is cooking, you might want to sit one and the other, and then for short spurts and bring them right back in and rotate. He just got to
don't
take
let
a
him
temperature.
Cool down.
Don't let him cool down. Don't let him get ice cold. Don't let him freeze. Like right now, one thing that frustrates me, when Toppin and was on fire shooting, he sits him, in the early second quarter, around, and there's still 7+ minutes left to halftime, and then he doesn't, and then he don't play until like 1 minute, 2 minutes left in the third quarter, and then you expect the kid to come out there and play well, but meanwhile he's sitting down for a long time, and halftime, and then plus the warm-ups, the shoot around, the warm-ups, and then you expect him, and then he makes one mistake, and you're yanking him.
That's not fair.
That's and it's just not him. He does it with McBride as well. I understand you have to you want your players to be held to a higher standard. I think but you also gotta, then you can't have a blind eye on other players as well when they kind of make mistakes. I think he's doing that to RJ Barrett also when Barrett's makes some minor mistakes, he's yanking them, because we have seen in the past Barrett hasn't been closing out games in the fourth quarter.
Sure.
And you could tell that little bit of a difference there. And even Mitchell Robinson, he has closed with Hartenstein, and Mitchell, is loafing on defense. If guys are loafing, which is fine, I understand that. But sometimes you need to take a temperature, and don't be robotic on your substitution, which he's been doing. You know what? I got to give a little bit of his flowers. He's been changing a little bit of his substitution
more adaptable,
pattern.
yeah.
More adaptable this season, especially in the second half of the season. Yes, I agree with you.
Definitely.
Which that's a difference, because he's been a head coach already in the postseason several times. Burkestaff, did he coach last year?
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
he did.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, but he's not known as one of those genius type of coach. He's a good head coach, but he doesn't have nothing to separate or elevate or make it think of him taking a team and his mind is going to help him win a series. Although he could prove us wrong, because we saw with the Atlanta coach Nate Millen. He's not even he got fired this season. And he outcoached Thibodeau there. But of course, that's a whole nother story from that postseason that we lost. We were just undermanned. We just didn't have the shooters and the talent that we have currently on this team here, on the Knicks here. This team is talented. This team is extremely talented, but the Cavaliers is also good. One thing I've told you several times, and I mentioned it, that used to worry me, but now Markkanen is no longer there, but they still have more size over the Knicks in the front court, and that worries me. But the numbers say that the Knicks were a better rebounding team, and that's what gives me a little bit of a calm in that storm, guys.
Yeah, the Knicks just gotta go into the series. I know we beat them, in the regular season, and we just gotta go in like we never beat them at all. Like, we got to go in and just take care of business and take it seriously and don't take nothing for granted, because as soon as you start doing that, that's when you lose, man. And that's how you lose a series.
That's true.
You figure, they could even win the first game, set an example, and send a message.
True.
But, you get overconfident, and now you light a fire up the other team's butt, and now they're ready to freaking knock us down. You know what I mean? So, I hope that we play solid basketball. That's what we need to do. Number one, play solid. Stay with the momentum, and just try not to be overconfident. Keep everybody in the game. No hero ball. Because that's what we got to do. And I feel like collectively they made it there as a team, and collectively they should finish as a team at the end of the day. So even though some guys have great nights, 48 points, 57 points, whatever, Randall, Brunson, but those are just spectacular nights. You know what I mean? You can't pull those off every night, but if collectively, I think if they hold it together as a team, and they're a really solid unit, the Knicks, you know what I mean? And from what I heard, they're very close, this team. Like, they hang out and stuff like that, like off the court and stuff like. So I'm really excited about this series, man. I'm really hoping hope is everything we expect.
It's
now
true.
I'm gonna bring my final point. My final point that I said I wanted to put this one first and skipped it was the benches.
Oh yeah,
the way the coaches are going to utilize the benches, and I bring my to the point of the benches, and I'll go let you go first. G Money here is the way Tom Thibodeau is going to use Emmanuel quickly. When is he going to bring them in? If their Knicks are a little bit flat and needs a spark, would it be quickly first, Isaiah Hartenstein or Hart? The way they bring that bench, and for the Cavaliers also, LeVert is going to come off the bench possibly. Wade might be healthy now. He's been injured a lot this season, so he's trying to get progressively back. Stevenson, maybe Ricky Rubio. I don't know if Miles McBride will make the rotation, because again, Thibodeau might make this a 7 to 8 man rotation. Maybe not. I don't know. I haven't heard anything from his press conference to say anything like that. But I know for a fact, we might not see Miles McBride. McBride might come in for 1 minute. He might get the Frank Ntilikina, bow in, come in, play for a minute or two with the quarters about to end. The benches, who do you like? Who has a slight advantage? Who has the advantage? And how do you like the cool? And which coach you think will utilize their bench better in this series? I go to you, G Money.
Right. For me, whoever's bench steps up is going to prevail in the series. I mean, for New York, I mean, just playmaking, get into transition if you're the bench. And another X factor off the bench, to me, Josh Hart. To me, Josh Hart is the X factor off the bench. Your first playoff run of your Josh Hart, just be our junkyard dog. Just continue to bully cats. Continue to dive for loose balls. Continue to hit your feathery 3-ball shot at the top of the key at the wing, and continue to dish the rock like Valentine's Day. Continue to dish the rock. Continue to find the open man. Continue to lob the Mitch. Continue to have the heart-to-heart combination to I heart though, man, and continue to be our glue to our, continue to be the to our, continue to be the glue to the wall, the macrame to the wall. so that's what I'm saying. So my X factor off the bench for New York is Josh Hart. For Cleveland, I would probably say Ricky Rubio, and don't be surprised for this player, Danny Green. I know Danny Green could be watched, but you never know. Cleveland could throw a wild card for Danny Green, and Danny Green's had some big shots at the Garden, so consider that.
So, which coach you think who do you like? Which coach you would utilize their bench to a strength and to pivot their series their favor?
To the strength, I'm gonna say more. If I would have to guess, I'm gonna say more Tibbs though. I think Tibbs is more trustworthy in my opinion compared to Bickerstaff. When it comes to bench. So.
All right. The floor is yours, my man G. Go for it.
Yeah, I agree with you, Money. I feel like Tibbs, our bench is more. We have more depth.
Mm-hmm.
If I have to say it, and the way I see on your question, Kev, how Tibbs is going to utilize our bench, whether who's going to be coming in at whatever time in the game, is I think Tibbs is going to be looking at people's body language, their energy.
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying? So to me, if Brunson's lackadaisical on the court, even in the first quarter, like come 6 minutes left in the first quarter, I mean, I could see Tibbs just giving Brunson a break and get some energy out there.
Rose might play. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, but quickly, he throwing quickly in there. He's gonna throw the energy boys in there because whether it be quickly, OB, Hart. I mean, even if just the starting five just looks lax, he wants that energy. Tibbs is like that. He'll excuse my language. He'll sit everybody down, and you'll have the second unit running the squad in the first game of the quarter, in the first game of the playoffs, in the first quarter. It would be nuts to see something like that. But like I said, I feel like it's all about energy. And if Tibbs doesn't like what he sees, he's gonna pull him out, and he's gonna put somebody that's gonna bring the energy, and he's gonna, everybody's gonna feed off of that one person because they want it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
I agree with you.
That's how I see it. That's how I
agree with you. When as far as we were talking about the benches and utilize the benches, like you mentioned, I like the way Thibodeau would utilize the bench. And if Danny Green is playing any minutes for the Cavaliers are in trouble. Because if they really got to go into that deep, that's like saying that you were going to play Fournier. And I've been one who say I would like to see Fournier in the postseason because I think Fournier will be one of those big time game players. But boy, the Knicks have so much better players ahead of them that deserve to play ahead of a Fournier. But I don't want to derail from that there. Personally, if there is no Juluis Randel, and he doesn't play, I'm playing Toppin whenever Mobley and Aaron on the floor. The minute they sit one of those two bigs, that's when I'm sitting Toppin down. I'm mirroring him whenever there's a big, and I'm bringing in I'm moving Barrett to the 4 or Hart to the 4, and I'm playing a small ball and I'm pushing because Hart rebounds extremely well, and even Barrett for a degree will box out and make a good effort. And then whenever either when they play the two bigs, that's when I'm bringing Toppin in. That's the way I would do it as a head coach. That's the adjustment I will make if there is no Juluis Randel.
I agree.
And I'm okay if Thibodeau closes the last 5 minutes with Toppin on the bench, and if he wants to go with the 4, with like I said, close out of Mitchell, Robinson, or whatever center, Grimes, Hart, Brunson, quickly, I'm okay with that. I'm all right with that because I know that these guys are going to defend. They're going to be pests. They're going to play the passing lane. That's another thing we mentioned. Can the Knicks continue to play the passing lane and continue to get some steals and run? You know what this is kind of overshadowing or shows me here. I'm thinking the Knicks, and we're gonna go to the betting section part of the program. This kind of reminds me of when the Knicks beat the Miami Heat going into in 1999, going to the second round against the Atlanta Hawks. We just had a emerging Marcus Camby that ran and blocked, and I kind of see Obi Toppin. That's why I like Obi Toppin. I think he's a wild card in the series because he's going back to a state that he has great memories in Dayton, in Ohio. That's where he's collegiate. He's gonna have great memories. He's gonna be in a happy place, in a good zone, and he closed out the season with positivity and feeling good. I think Toppin is gonna be a wild card in transition.
Yeah, I can see that though.
Agreed.
I can see that. Something tells me Obi's got a big game too. I think in game one he may have a little bit jittery in game one. I think I may have the jitters, the yips, I should say in game one. I think in game two he's gonna start calming himself down. I think he'll play better in game two because sometimes game one's like the feel out game a little bit though. Remember, teams trying to get their feet wet, teams trying to figure each other out, trying to know what adjustments they need to make. I think New York might struggle in game one, but I think game two is when you can see the best of this Knicks team. That's my guess.
All right.
I can see that. I can see that. I'm curious though, Kev and G Money, to know. I'm just curious about how is Juluis Randel going to come out on this first game? Is he going to be a real rust bucket, or is he going to have energy?
Mm-hmm.
Is he gonna come in like a tidal wave and start just scoring buckets here and there? I'm just so interested in seeing how he's gonna come out because he's had a little bit of time off.
Yeah.
You know,
he's gonna come out playmaking. Who knows?
He's an enigma because remember he says he's when he has a lot of time off, he's a slow starter, and that worries me. Remember when All-Star game, to start the regular season, that kind, and any time off kind of worries me a little bit. But man, he's gonna, if anything, like I said, he's gonna be focused when he plays. I don't think he plays the first two games. It's just my thought. I hope I'm totally wrong. I want him to play because they're gonna need him to play no matter, even if it's at 85, 75, 100%. Anything under 65%, he don't play because he's only gonna he's just gonna hurt the team. Now, guys, here's a segment here. Here's the betting odds. If I'm giving you some money, I say, here's some Bitcoin, here's some money, put some bets down here. Here's the betting odds here. We got the Knicks in 7 at a plus 650, the Knicks in 6 at a plus 500, the Knicks sweep at a plus 2,000, and a Knicks in 5 and a plus 1,100, excuse me. First and foremost, what is your thoughts there? If you're a betting man, who do you like in this series? Even if it's the other way, it's all right. I'm going to go to G Money. Who do you like in this series to win this?
I'm going to say Randall comes back. I'm going to say New York in 6. Here's how I think this series goes, okay? Cleveland wins game 1. New York wins game 2. Weird feeling Cleveland wins game 3. New York wins games 4, 5, and 6. I think Cleveland goes up 2-1. New York wins the next 3 games. That's weird feeling, though. New York in 6, though.
Okay. I respect that. I can see the way you mapped it out.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing before G Money went on. I'm going to say 6. I could see I could give the Cavs 2 games. I'd give them the second game if they lose the first, and I give them the fourth game.
Yeah, because I see both teams getting one of each other's on floor. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But that would be me. I'd be safe with that. I feel that if I was gonna throw up some money, some Bitcoin, whatever, Dogecoin, whatever, I'm saying that. I'm gonna say that.
All right. This is I've been torn with this one. I've been torn because I want to be objective and be but my heart as a fan, my fandom is pushing me one way, and my heart is pushing me a different way. My fandom, I think Knicks win game 1.
Possibly.
And they're going to be close in game 2, and I think they win game 2. I think they go up 2, coming back home 2-0. And
lose game 3.
Game 3, Donovan Mitchell is going to have a blast, a phenomenal monster game where, and remember one thing, the Knicks do not get blown out. They don't get blown out at any of these games. It's going to be a close game, but the score is going to indicate maybe like a 9 or 10 point loss for the Knicks, game 3. But then the Knicks close out at home. I think this goes 5. I think they turn what they did to the Hawks, and they give it back to the Cavaliers. Because believe me, they are this team, the nucleus and the core of this team is not going to let them down, or not going to let that playoff series. They're going to be a reminder. That's going to be a bitterness of this is the playoffs. We gotta fight for 50-50 balls. I'm pretty sure in those practices we got to go after every loose ball 50-50. Listen, game 1 in that Hawks series, if Barrett was secure that rebound, Knicks win game 1. That was rebound that went into the hands of, who was it? The 3 ball that they shot from the corner.
Bogdanovich. More than likely we win. More than likely. I know things could happen at the end because there's still seconds, but more than likely, yeah.
Correct. And they're gonna put that. That message is gonna be either on the blackboard, whatever. They're going to continue to hound that in, and I think the Knicks with their guards. And hey, we got to give a lot of flowers to Johnny Bryant, the way he has those boys prepared, with quickly Grimes and everyone elevating how good they have taken their game to another level. Phenomenal job, and I agree with Roel. Our centers are going to be key to winning the series.
I agree.
If Mitchell, and listen, also an X factor. This is Mitchell Robinson's first postseason.
That's true.
He's looks like he's thirsty, hungry, determined to play in this postseason and make a name for himself. And if he's back there putting back and becoming a pest down there, blocking shots, and not falling for the pick and roll, that's one thing. If the Knicks could utilize or take away that pick and roll for Donovan Mitchell and Okoro against his team, that's a big key as well. So that's why I like the Knicks in 5. But objectively, I'm gonna say it probably goes 7. Where it's like, and I think the Knicks win. Either way, I think Knicks win this series. I can't see the Knicks lose. I don't see the Knicks losing the series.
For me, they gotta win this in 6. They gotta win this in 6.
Yeah,
could they win game 7 in Cleveland? Could they win game 7?
They could win in Cleveland. They've been one of the best road teams.
No. They could. Of course they could. I'm not saying they don't have a chance to win. Of course, any team could win game 7.
I'm not scared of going to Cleveland and down with the series on the line. I'm not scared.
I know, but what I'm saying is that you don't want to take that risk to go into game 7 because we don't know how Randall, RJ, Grimes, Brunson's been there in the game 7. We saw last year against the Suns. But other than Brunson, we don't know, and technically Rose, but the more I thought about it, I don't think Rose is going to play. But other than that, do you really want to go into that building in game 7? I don't. I'd rather win this in 6 games, though, to get it done. Because if you win this in 6, you probably get a little bit more rest for the second round, though, compared to game 7.
Money. LeBron James ain't coming through that tunnel in game 7, bro.
I understand that. I understand that, but we're not playing a mediocre team,
I'm not scared. I'm not. You know what? I say listen, I did all 82. I did 81 games of this basketball team. I seen all of it. I'm not. I know what horse I'm gonna jump on, and I know that horse is gonna take me to the promised land. And our hashtag no limit Knicks. And boy, I just know that hey, I might have Crow. You know what? I'll drink it with some Johnny Walker Blue if I have to eat the Crow. But
there you go.
Gee whiz, game 7 could be hello. I don't know about that.
You're bringing out the good stuff for the Knicks game, huh?
Oh, okay. You know it.
I said New York in 6, man. I hope Knicks in 5. It's actually possible. Who knows? Anything can happen this series. Who knows?
I will say this. Regardless of whoever wins whatever game, 1 through 7, I feel like it's going to be a hard-fought, grueling 7 games. No game is going to end by 10 points. It'll be 5, 6 points minimum every game. I don't see anybody taking advantage of anybody. Like, this is going to be, bloodbath. Nobody wants to go home type of game. So I think this is I think if anybody's into the NBA, whatever you like, you love basketball, this is the series to watch, man. At the end of the day, for me, it's the series to watch. I'm not just saying that because I'm a Knicks fan. I just feel like this is the most. These two teams are almost kind of identical,
evenly matched.
Yeah. So for me, like I feel like that's why I say it's going to be kind of like a boxing match, blow to blow. That's why I say
who's going to flinch? Who's going to flinch first?
6 games is going to go 1 game here, then 1 game there, 1 game here, 1 game there. You know, they're going to get knocked down, get back up, knocked down, get back up. So it's going to be grueling.
Some Mike Breen bang calls in that series. Prepare.
So it's safe to say whoever wins 2 in a row is going to put themselves in prime position to win this series. I think
whoever takes, whether it be the Cavs or the Knicks, sadly,
right, correct.
If the Cavs win 2 in a row, I think it might be, get those bags ready. But
I don't think the Knicks get swept.
I'm pulling for them. I'm just hoping that it doesn't kill their confidence if they lose 2 in a row because that can happen so easily.
Right.
I can agree
with
that.
I don't think they get swept though. I don't know. I don't think they.
No. No way.
Neither team's getting swept.
Nah.
No, I don't think so either. But I think of 4-1 Knicks. I think Knicks win 4-1, man. Everyone, even Vegas is saying it's a close series. They're like the Cavaliers, in 7. I know all BSPN wants the Cavaliers to win. I don't know why, because you want the market, you want the eyeballs on the product. I'm surprised, but it is what it is on that.
Look, man, this will be the best thing for the NBA if the Knicks take this series. All right. Everybody says that, even the players from other teams say it. The Knicks need to be in the playoffs.
Because
not just the first round. They need to go into the second round possibly. And if they can make it to, the conference finals, then, hey, let's do it.
That's right. No limit. Hashtag no limits. Listen, this is going to be the first of 16 wins for the Knicks.
Yep.
The first of 16. Give me. I want the Knicks to go 16-8. Give me 16-8. Let the season end.
I would love that.
Give me 16-8.
16-8. I'll take it.
I'll
sign up right now. I got the pen. Let's do this. 16-8. Let's do this.
I can imagine. Imagine if we did win the title 2023.
No. You speak it to existence, brother. Don't imagine. The imaginary is for unicorns and Sesame Street. Speak it to existence.
This is
the hashtag.
Yeah.
Hashtag no limit Knicks.
That.
You let everyone else put the limits. No, not us. No limit Knicks. We're not putting limits or limitation. And we're not saying, we're no limits. Let's just go and win and have fun. Let them play their game. Look, if they play their game, they were the fourth most offense in NBA history with the season. The number says it. It's like, what? We had a double take on those numbers that they said. This is a good team.
That's true. This is a very scary team. Not only offensively, not only that, they run. People think that we're just a defensive team, but we also run. New York also runs. They can play half court. They can play full court. They can dump up passes. They can post up in the block. They can hit the shot, the nail, the top of the key. They can move around the horn, pinch post, backdoor cuts, give and go. Man, this offense is awesome, man.
You know what's that called? You know what that's called, real quick, G? I'll let you go. It's called balance.
Balance, yep. Very balanced, well balanced. New York is a well-oiled machine right now, man. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, New York is definitely. I feel like, even though like a lot of teams have played us, 3 times, 2 times, whatever, I feel like the league is still trying to figure us out.
Exactly.
And I think that plays into our favor for the most part. Because
you can't put things on paper.
Exactly,
you can't put things on film.
Exactly.
I mean, on film. You look at the film.
You can watch all the film you want.
They play a different style because
exactly.
Quickly could give you 30 plus points. We've seen it, and multiple amount of 1-on-1. Quentin Grimes could get 30 to 20. Let's say 25. Let's go. He could get you 25 points whenever he can when he's on. You also have Jalen Brunson with the multiple 30-point games, even 40. Randall, we know that he could score over 40 plus points, 30 plus points. Barrett could give you 30 points. Yeah, Barrett averaged 19.9 points this NBA season, despite having a low down season. 19.9 points. He could score double figures. Also, even when Toppin plays, although I don't think Toppin will average that in the series, but he's going to have to play a lot of minutes. But he could also able to score you over 25 points a game. They have players around the horn in the lineup that could score you X amount of points. That they could get it from all different areas, and that's the difference from when they played the Hawks in the first series in that first postseason. They didn't have the multiple scoring facet where they could get a bucket. Reggie Bullock was just a corner open shot guy that couldn't create for himself. Payton was cooked, and Balak Burke was, God bless him, but he was only a fourth quarter guy that you needed to microwave.
And also Payton couldn't create some shot neither.
Correct. So there's more weapons and more of the cupboard hole to go to, and I think that's why I feel confident watching the games, watching all the 80 plus games with the Knicks. It allows me to sit here confidently and not feel worried about this series at all. I'm not really worried. I'm not scared of this.
Yeah, New York is just a better team than Cleveland. Yeah.
I feel like I have a more sense of sureness with this Knicks team rather than 2 years ago with the playoff series.
Agreed.
Like, I feel like, before when we were in the playoffs and we were playing the Hawks, it was a lot of doubt in my mind about the series. But I feel more strongly about the Knicks can probably take this series, no problem.
Yeah, because back then we didn't have that much playoff experience. Yeah,
exactly.
Not only that, the Hawks were better in two positions that move in the NBA. Which we lost our center. I know Nonzuma was a backup, and they were better at us at center, and they had an all NBA point guard where we didn't have that, and that's where we got cooked in that series badly and exposed.
Exactly, and now you got to factor in that it's 2 years later. Our young boys have become men. For the most part. We got Jalen Brunson,
who's a dog,
beautiful point guard, the dog. We got Hart, solid, like he was a blessing in the sky, great pickup. And we got the block nest monster back to full health. We got Julius not acting a fool on the court, playing his game, doing what he do. We got RJ Barrett. He's a wild card, but hopefully he'll get it together and we can get 25 points out of him every night. And we got freaking our guy, Emmanuel Quickly, the second X Factor to Grimes. We have like 2 X Factors on our team.
And Hartenstein too. This could be serious for him. Who knows?
Like, yeah, I mean, he's going to be in the paint. I feel like Tibbs trusts Hart. Like I spoke to Kev last time we spoke about Hartenstein on the last video. I said I don't know what Tibbs told Hartenstein. I don't know if he told him you got to get your ish together, but if you don't, you're gonna be riding that bench, buddy. So I don't know if he lit a fire up that guy's butt, but he's been playing ball, man.
Man, the train has been rolling and. Hart has just been phenomenal. Not only he's scoring the low, he's not a great scorer, but he can finish at the rim. He can hit the corner three. He's an underrated shot blocker. He can bring the ball up the court, and I love his outlet passes. So underrated, man. And he can crash the glass.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And he has playoff experience too. Don't forget.
Correct. And Hartenstein in the middle of this, I guess around December, January, he was dealing with an injury. He was just getting better back from an injury. And remember, he had a big block in Madison Square Garden against the Cavaliers to take that game that propelled the Knicks on that 9-game winning streak. He was a catalyst there, and then he started playing extremely well to close out the second half of the season for the Knickerbockers. Hartenstein, the Hart Foundation. I call him the Hart Foundation. Hartenstein and Josh Hart, so they go out there and they wreak havoc. The Anvil Hartenstein and Josh the Hitman Hart out there playing.
Oh, we got 2 Harts.
Yeah, that's the Hart Foundation. They're out there making havoc and double teaming with the pick and rolls, and they're out there phenomenally on defense. They bring energy, like you said, high energy. It's going to show. Remember, Tom Thibodeau's teams always are well conditioned. They close out the season well conditioned, well in shape. Is going to find out about this Cavaliers conditioning and their shape. If the Knicks are 9 deep and they're pushing the pace, pushing the envelope, we're going to find out. Like you said, We might not. They might lose. I don't think they lose game one, but if they lose game one, they don't need to panic because it's a long series. Exactly. And I think the longevity of the series, the Knicks will show their conditioning and their skill set and their coaching, and I think that's where it's going to prevail, guys.
That's true.
And yeah, and this guy even says it too. Tom Thibodeau, he says our guys are gym rats.
Yes,
these guys are practicing and playing ball when the rest of the NBA is sleeping and watching TV. You know what I'm saying? So I like it. You know, our guys, we're gonna be ready, man. We're gonna be ready.
They're gonna be ready. They're focused, and they stay. At least the vibes we get, they seem hungry.
Yeah, yeah. And I like that. And I like that they seem hungry because even if the Knicks don't go far in the playoffs this season, you know, I don't want to put the energy out there, but even if they don't, you know, we open up doors with this playoff run.
It's been a good year
for players. You know, we look like a force now for next season.
Yeah.
You know, so now, you know, you remember Knicks coming to the house. Oh, this is an easy dub for us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it ain't like that no more. It ain't no easy dub.
You got to scratch a claw now.
Exactly. You know, you better hope we have an off night because we coming for you.
Right.
You know, and I'm just glad that we were able to play like that through the whole season.
Also, in the NBA history, the 4-5 matchup is an extremely difficult matchup because usually those are two really good teams. You know, not good enough to get to that number one seed to play a lower echelon team. You know, in the postseason. And a lot of good teams have gone home on the 4-5 series that, you know, they should have been in the second round and possibly Western Conference, you know, viable team, you know, or Eastern Conference final potential and have gone home in that 4-5 series. You know, we could even talk about even the Denver Nuggets, you know, have gone home and they're, you know, they've got players. Even when Melo was on the Denver Nuggets, they had good squads. They were sent home. The Portland Trailblazers 4-5 series. There's a lot of different teams and a lot of history, you know. So that's a tough series, 4-5, and it doesn't, even if the loser of this series doesn't seem that their season was a total waste either, because this is supposed to be a extremely matchup series because that's a 4-5 series. That's what it is. It's a really tough matchup.
Exactly, for both teams. Unless you're losing like 4 or 5, that's kind of different. But if you're losing like 6 or 7 and you battle to the nail, you're right there. Just like a play here, a play there made like a difference. You did your best if you're New York or Cleveland. You had a great year. You showed improvement for both teams. If you're Cleveland, you know, you showed youth and growth, improvement in New York. You showed your grit, your mental toughness. Whoever loses this series, if you lose in a tough 6 or 7 game grind, you showed a lot of growth and improvement, and you just build up from there. You know, you have nothing to be ashamed of.
Right. And that's. Go ahead, G. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Do your thing.
No, I'm. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that, you know, for me the East is, I feel like is open. You know what I mean? And you got the 76ers that you would probably have to worry about, Boston, and of course Milwaukee. You know what I mean? But to me, I feel like it's open for us as the Knicks only because we brought it to these teams. So if we play any one of these teams, whether it be 76ers, Boston, or Milwaukee, like I won't feel like, yo, we don't have a chance.
We do have a chance. Every team has a chance.
Yeah, everybody has a chance. And like even the players in the lowest seeds in the playoffs, even they have a chance. If they can get it together in the process of being in the playoffs, who knows what could happen?
It could be a 1% chance or 99% chance.
Yeah, exactly.
Missed shots, turnovers,
in the playoffs,
injuries,
you can't sleep on anybody.
Right. I mean, heck, I'm not saying it's going to happen. Heck, if hypothetically speaking, OKC can win tomorrow, who knows what can happen? If they play Denver, I'm not sure it's going to happen. If the Thunder beat the T-Wolves, they have a shot to beat the Nuggets. If the Bulls beat the Heat, they have a shot to beat the Bucks. I'm not saying they're going to win, but they have an opportunity. Who knows?
Yeah, I was going to mention that. Mike, you was going to say about the East being wide open and easy or availability. I don't give the Hawks any chance against Boston. I just don't feel
0-91.
I don't give him a chance against Boston. No, I think Capella's cooked. Trae Young, is they're talking about trading him and not being there, moving him out of there. You know, Quinn Snyder, that he was the next factor. I think Quinn Snyder was bringing that fresh breath air, but them leaking out that Trae Young might get moved kind of messed up the juju there. They should have kept that quiet. I think Quinn Snyder could have got that team motivated and moving the right direction. I think that's not going to help them around in their locker room. I think they're just going to be happy to be in the first round and exit. But here's the one that I'm keeping an eye out. 2 series here. If it's on the play-in situation, I'm rooting hard, and I hate to say it, for Miami to beat the Bulls, because the Bulls are just going to show up there to get their butts whipped against the Milwaukee. I think the Miami Heat could knock off the Milwaukee.
They have a shot. They can play the Bucks. They do have a shot.
Adebayo, Butler, you know, even Love for what he could play, and even Lowry could turn the pace here. Or, you know, no Middleton. I think Middleton is not going to be 100%, or he might not play this whole season. I know Holiday's a beast, you know, and Vincent went down with a minor injury. Hopefully he returns for whatever happened. But I think Miami has that cachet, that pedigree to go against the Milwaukee Bucks more than the Bulls. I know the Bulls got Vucevic, and DeRozan and Levine, although they, you know, whoever. Man, that's a good. I don't know. I'm torn there, but the Bucks. I just hope they give the Bucks a hard time. I think it's the Miami could do a better job playing against Bucks. Don't sleep on Brooklyn. I hate to say it. I hate to say it. But if Nick Claxton could contain Embiid and Mikal Bridges going back against his hometown Philadelphia team that traded his butt on draft night to the Suns, and he's stepping his game up, and Steph Curry trading him, and they get lethal, and also, you know, Joe Harris, excuse me.
And Nerds Noel could be a wild card.
And you know, Doc Rivers chokes in the postseason. You know, he's another one that gets a little bit, you know, with the blinders. And Jacques Vaughn seems like a hungry, inspiring head coach. I won't be surprised if we see Brooklyn knock off Philadelphia, put a scare in their butts where, like, oh, the brink of elimination. I won't be surprised.
They be doing the East a favor. Yeah, but they ain't gonna get past the second round.
Yeah, and another series.
That's the Celtics. That's the Celtics bracket.
Another series we should keep an eye out for, and this is the Western Conference: Warriors and Kings. The Kings shocked me all year. I was wrong about Sacramento. Best offensive rating in NBA history. They're fast, they're quick, guys who can move without the ball. Malik Monk, Kevin Huerter, Domantas Sabonis, De'Aaron Fox, Keegan Murray. I mean, the Warriors and Kings. I'm gonna shock people. I think the Kings are going to upset the Warriors.
I was about to say that. I was waiting for you to finish. I'm with you. I think Kings win that round. I think Kings beat the Warriors. I'm with you, G. I'm with you. I'm 100% with you.
That's believable.
I'm with you. I was going to say that. I'll take the Kings over the Warriors, but I don't think the Kings get past the second round though. They don't.
I'm just shocking again. I think they
don't play defense. They don't play defense. That's the only thing that worries me. You could ride them. That's fine. That's what makes you G. No one thinks I must be crazy when I say Knicks in 5. Take the Sacramento Kings and run with them. That's
okay.
Fine.
So
don't let me change your mind.
Okay, so you got So speaking of second round, Lakers or Grizzlies. What's your feeling for that? If you have to guess, remember no Brandon Clark, no Steven Adams.
I'm taking the Grizzlies on this one.
Me too. Everyone has the Lakers winning the NBA Finals.
That's disrespectful to me. No way.
I mean, LeBron is one of the best players in modern day basketball here, but his time is up.
You think AD is going to be able to play the whole playoff?
You can't assume. We don't want to assume injuries, though. I don't want you to assume injuries. I don't trust their depth, man. I mean, they have talent, but I don't trust their depth.
Reeves is a bad shooter, bad MMFer. He could shoot. Yeah. Austin Reeves.
He can finish at the rim too.
He's good. They got a blue chip in there.
I think the Lakers are just gonna
second round.
They're gonna beat themselves. They're gonna somebody's gonna get hurt. AD,
it's possible.
LeBron, somebody.
Or they'll have a
gonna get
nice
out of the They're too old, man. These boys. There's too many young men in this series, in this playoff, man. It's like, how do you beat all these teams? No way.
If I have to guess, without Brandon Clark and Steven Adams, I have a weird feeling they'll beat the Grizz in 6. Because here's the thing, right? The Grizz have depth, but without Brandon Clark and Steven Adams, you lose rebounding, screen setting, and rim protection. Yes, Jaren Jackson can rebound, can protect the rim, and can stretch the floor, but he's foul hardy. He's a foul machine. Yeah,
correct.
Who's your backup power forward? Adama? Really? Adama. It's going to be barbecue chicken for AD. Good golly.
Yeah,
good luck with that in Memphis.
Good point.
Yo, man. People are really thirsty for LeBron to get that 5, huh? That 5.
They're pushing. They're pushing the narrative hard. You know,
I got the Lakers beating the Grizz in 6, but I'm gonna shock people. I got the Beam Squad, the Kings, upsetting the Lakers in 6, going to the Western Conference Finals, and the Clippers and Suns. What's your feeling for that? I'm going Suns in. I think PG comes back. Suns in 7. What's your feeling?
I hope the Clippers lose because I just want them to break that team up.
Ooh,
yeah, that team is they're not living up to their potential, man. That team. I think it's time to move some pieces and start revamping and thinking about how you can fix this team again. Because I mean, the load management stuff is it's out of control over there in LA Clippers town. Like it's just it's sickening already. Like I'm tired of these grown men asking for days off. Like this is crazy. Like this is unheard of from the 90s and the early 2000s. Like, come on, man, play the game, bro.
And I know he's dynamic. I know he's not dynamic, but I do not want Kawhi Leonard on his team. He's getting older.
Yeah, he is aging.
I don't want to. I don't want no. He's good, but he's a crybaby too. Low key crybaby.
Sometimes he does whine.
Yeah.
So if you have to guess, Clippers and Suns, what's your gut feeling though? I'm saying Suns in 7. Like, I think PG might come back at some point. You gut feeling?
You know what? I could tell you one thing right now. If the Grizzlies beat the Warriors, it's gonna be Phoenix and the Grizzlies in the Western Conference.
Okay. No, the Grizz are playing the Lakers though. The Grizz. Oh, you mean the Grizz are playing the Lakers in the first round?
But he's got Grizzlies
no, I'm saying
Warriors.
I said if
it was in the second round.
If the Grizzlies take out the Warriors,
second round, okay.
I could see the Grizzlies get into the Western Conference Finals to play Phoenix.
Ooh, that's possible. I can see that. And who do you think goes to the finals if that would have happened?
And if that's gonna happen, I see Phoenix going to the finals because you got KD, you got Paul George. I mean,
Booker.
Booker,
Kevin
Durant.
Paul, Terrence Ross.
PG, Booker. I mean, they stacked, bro.
18.
You know, like I can't. I mean, the Grizzlies are good enough to make it, but that's where it stops right there.
No love for the Nuggets, huh?
Ooh,
the Nuggets. I don't know, man. The Nuggets. Like,
I think they're missing the piece.
They've been that team that always makes it to the playoffs, but just can't get over the hump.
To be fair,
you know where the Nuggets are right now? They're where Milwaukee was before winning the NBA title. They're in that plateau. Remember how Milwaukee was good, and they couldn't go, and then it happened to be that a player didn't cut his toenails, and it had his toenail on the foot of a 3-point line and called it a 2, and that's what helped them go.
Because the sneakers are too big, that potentially but we will never know. So what do you think?
Speaking
of Denver, right? We all can agree that Denver is going to get past whoever beats OKC or Minnesota. They're going to get out the first round. Okay, so Denver and Phoenix, Cav. What's your feeling for that, though? What do you think is going to happen?
I don't know. I'm not picking. I personally, to be honest with you, I'm gonna be totally blunt. I hope that the Suns don't win. I hope the Brooklyn Nets go one round more than Kevin Durant, because now Brooklyn went 2 rounds more than Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving's fishing right now, and Kevin Durant. I hope he loses the first round, so the Brooklyn Nets go to the second round, and they're like, you know what? How do you like me now?
It can actually. I don't like Brooklyn.
But
it's sad.
Like that.
It's sad, man. It's you know what's sad about that whole Kevin Durant situation? I used to like Kevin Durant. I didn't like him when he came to Brooklyn because he was really like saying some bad stuff about the Knicks and stuff, like talking about we ain't cool and all this stuff.
Yeah,
like,
that was kind of
we ain't trendy and whatever. All right, that's your opinion, but keep your opinions to yourself, bro.
His opinion was
was
wrong in my opinion.
It's irrelevant to you joining the Brooklyn Nets. So stop trying to put my team down and just play ball. And you are like a fragile little freaking bony 7-footer, breaking your toe in a freaking shoot around. Like, get out of here, man. Like,
what Kevin Durant showed me. You know what Kevin Durant showed me? He's a follower, not a leader. Because Kyrie, and I'm gonna follow Kyrie.
I agree.
I'm gonna follow Curry and win over there. I'm not a leader. I'm a follower. He's always gonna. He's never gonna. And of course, people they were trying to compare him with LeBron being the better player. You're just always second fiddle, and maybe he's all right with that. But to me, that's what he shows. He doesn't have the balls to be a leader and go up there. That's why I always mention. I always said it many times on my stream. Who was the player that has the cojones, to come and play for New York and help him get over the hump? And yes, he's not an All-NBA player. He's not a franchise player. He's not an All-Star. But damn, Josh Hart, said, I have the cojones. I want to play for the Knicks. I love that. Someone that says, I want to be here. I want to play here.
Yep.
And I wish Durant would have said that, even if he would have sat for a year and didn't. And boy, the fans would have loved it, because he says, I want to come and win here. I want to play here. And of course, Mr. Vernon, he should have stayed with the Warriors. I agree with you. His mistake was coming. He wanted to come to the Knicks. That if he didn't get injured, he would have signed with the Knicks in that offseason. And who knows what would have happened. He was going to be until the injury.
I don't think so. New York was in the crossroads. I think he was going to Brooklyn regardless. The Nets were, in my personal opinion, the Nets were. I don't think so.
The Knicks pulled away because they weren't going to pay him for a full year to sit. Brooklyn had to. Brooklyn had to take that chance, and they did that. But that's revisionist history. We could sit here and argue for a moot point, because it's not going to change no matter what.
Yeah, because we would never truly know. Yeah.
Back to what you were saying about Josh Hart. Do you think Jalen Brunson might have had some influence on the front office on acquiring Josh Hart? Because
he was excited. You saw the video when he signed him.
Oh yeah, I saw
he was excited as hell. He was, and the thing was, back in 2 years prior to that, when he was on New Orleans, he wanted to be a Knick. Hart. Okay. Hart always wanted to play in New York. He wanted back in. And I remember when he was on the Pelicans, he wanted to be part of the Knicks. They wanted him, they didn't. And I remember when he was a free agent, like, no, I remember, because he was one of the list names that came up for free agents. No, we don't need Josh Hart. Now look, he's a beloved player for the team that we're willing to extend.
The Knicks, the Knicks fan base took to him like that. And
we took him.
He did the right thing. He went in there and played.
Exactly. Yep.
He pulled his head down. He bought his lunch. He bought his lunch pail, and he got in there and rebounded and won and played. And Buddy played his 50-50 ball. Brought an energy. Boy, hustle. Put hustle. In the words of John Cena, hustle, loyalty, and respect to on the court. He said, "You can't see me."
I agree, man.
A Hart hurricane, man. I mean, can finish strong like an ox. Can stroke it from three. I mean, can finish at the rim. Can play make.
He's not known to be a good 3-point shooter, but when he came to the Knicks, he was on fire. That's why I like the chances of him possibly being a Robert Horry type. That may miss a big shot. Give me this. I'm gonna hit this bad boy. I can see with Brunson. I can tell you one thing. I think on the floor, if Randle don't get the ball, whatever, and Brunson has to have a kick out for a game winner or possible tie, I think Brunson will feel more comfortable looking for Hart to try to get that open look to close out than anybody in the team, because they have that chemistry, collegiate team, and they won that title with Villanova. You don't tell me those boys are thinking, they thought about this when they won in Villanova. Let's win one in the NBA. My God.
Absolutely. It's good to have these two guys. We almost had Zion and Randle, but we got Brunson and Hart. I'll take that.
It'd be interesting off season, but we wait for that once the 16 games are over. The 16 wins that we get. So, Vernon, we're putting no limits on the team. We're saying the Knicks are going to go 16-8, 16-9, somewhere around there. They're going to play those amount of games there. They're going to win 16. Even if they go 16-15, I think everyone will sign up, but they have to win 16 first. Going into that game, going into that game 30, if they're 15-15, I think everyone will sign in, for that final 16-15. I think everyone will sign in right now. But it's some fun. I'm excited for game 1. We're going to do the watch along here on the BX Sports Jedi Network, return to the Knicks podcast. Myself, I don't know, Chef Dan has the day off. He's been asking for it. So we'll see. We'll also want to salute Chef Dan, who's working, listening to us on the pod. He will listen to us on his way home on the train on the Apple podcast. Chef Dan, get your rear. I'm going to be blunt. Get your ass in here, man, and let's call some playoff games, man. I miss your butt, man.
There you go.
Me too. I miss you too, man. I miss you too.
Man, love, man, my man, because my goodness,
I miss the Knicks podcast, man. Like I mean, I know there's a lot of other channels too, but sometimes
it's fun.
I feel like it's fun, but sometimes some channels don't make it fun. But this right here, what you got this is good, man. It's fun. It's not like nobody's jumping over on everybody talking, and it's clean. I like it. Sleep.
Yeah, man, you're more than always welcome. I've told you before, you're more than welcome here. We do the watch along, more than welcome. Watch along with us. Let's celebrate. This is one thing and it's about everyone that I have a relationship on this channel. Mr. Vernon, Steve, Heel, Kelvin. Big task at hand. Tim Smith. My goodness, Daryl Johnson, Frank Calise. I mean, everyone that's in the chat, and I know I'm missing some names. I love Pi, HK Delgado. To me, they're like family. They're family they're my Knick family. That I look forward to whenever I say I'm going to do a watch along. It's not like I'm here to entertain. I'm here to watch a game and have fun and celebrate with my family, Knick family. And to do now a postseason with my Knick family. My God, it's an honor, it's a privilege, and it's a pleasure. And I'm looking forward to seeing them on Saturday. And Mr. D. Ross, Be Civilized. My God, that's the names. As a matter of fact, I'm just gonna put the graphic up because and you could see for yourself all the people that they're just phenomenal, man. They make the program. As we get let's get the graphic out there. We have Phantom Random. You've got Brandon Schultz. You got Wesley Robinson. We haven't seen in a while. Jose Melo, infamous. Our agent, our number one agent Super Argo, our number one draft pick, Johnny Davis, Mr. Daryl Johnson, Donnell Jones, Miss G, Miss Janine, Mike Ortiz. We haven't seen him in a while. Charles Thomas, George Berman. He's out there, out overseas. Mr. Howard Harrison, Buddha Namaste, Willie Robinson, Melvin Smith, Nathan, Tim Smith, Van Siegfried, Jack City. My goodness. Again, DJ Ponchi, Knicks GM 100, which is the same as May the 4th. Dork Knight out in England who listens to us. Dangerous, my main man Russell. My goodness, there's so many names that I'm missing here. I'm gonna update it again. But Miss Marie Matthews, Maria, who's here is a staple of the channel from day one, from the very first time I put the stream on. Maria has been here, from a day one, and this is what makes the channel. Joe Curry, of course, they all family, dude. Everyone here to me is family, and I'm glad that we haven't had a disagreement or no one's been disrespectful. Everybody's been cordial, loving.
Yeah, man, you gotta keep.
This is what it's about.
You gotta keep it pro, man. Straight up, when you on here.
Yeah, you're like family to me. You guys are like family to me too. You guys are like my brothers. All of you are like my brothers, my sisters, my family. You guys, even make me the person I am.
I haven't seen G Money in a minute. I haven't seen G Money since Man.
Yeah, man, I miss you, dog. I miss you, bro. You're awesome. You're amazing, man. I miss you, dude. I haven't
seen you in a hot minute, bro. Like when I saw you, I was like, oh wow, I know this guy.
Bro, I miss you. You look fly. You look amazing. You
great.
Same here, brother. Same here, bro. Everybody's doing well.
This is what it's all about, man. This is what it's about. Now we're gonna celebrate, and then we're gonna, we're gonna make our force be felt with the podcast. That's why I ask you guys to hit that like button, share it. Let's get others on board. And this, not everyone does watch alongs. People, that's why when the games are over, I try to give a quick recap, get off the air, and allow the other guys that like to do recaps and reviews. Give them their flowers. I don't need to take that audience away from them. They give everyone something to eat. So that's why I ask everyone, please share and let them in.
If you don't do the podcast, I know you do watch along. You gotta do a podcast when we take the series.
Oh yeah, no. We're gonna be doing reviews. No, we're gonna do games. No,
okay.
Now I'm talking about the regular season. Regular season,
Okay.
I could easily come and come the next day or and do a review of the show of the game and talk, X's and O's. There's so many other folks. Give them something. Let them dip their bread in the oil. Let everyone eat.
Of course.
But now with the
Everybody gotta
postseason, maybe Sunday night or Monday, one of those 2 days, we'll do the recap of Game 1. We'll come on a nighttime and we'll do recap of Game 1, what we saw, what adjustments we want. Of course, we're gonna have this round table postseason wise. Yes, indeed, we're gonna go forward with it, reviewing it. But I'm talking about the regular season because you know what? Let's be fair. Everyone, maybe other, let them listen to other. Like I said, let everyone eat. I don't have to be greedy. It's of taking. Oh, people got to go to my channel. They can't go nowhere else. Nonsense. You know what? We all striving for is our team to hoist that Larry O'Brien trophy up.
That's true.
And all celebrate at the same time. There is no need to be strifeful, bitter, or resentful for one another. Because this type podcast stinks. Nonsense. They're doing their thing. Leave it alone. That's not your style. That's not your style. Plain and simple. But you know what? I'm supporting them. Look how proudful I am of Hector. Got on SNY. Talking Knicks on SNY on New York channel. Phenomenal job.
Awesome.
Phenomenal job.
You're doing great.
Phenomenal job. What an inspiration is the French CP, the franchise. He started off doing this, talking about Knicks. Now he's on local radio in New York. Talking with Ian Begley, talking and being from an African American descent. It's not your and there's nothing wrong. Again, don't make it seem like it's I'm not trying to be disrespectful, no, but he's not your typical white Jewish boys like that. There's nothing wrong with film school. There's nothing wrong with that. But to see one of us, Latino, or African American, us going up there and talking about the team that we love, seeing them up there, I love it. You know what? I'm here. I'm all forward supporting, and I still support Knicks Film School. They're good. They're a hell of a show. But you know what? We also, us color folks, also talk about sports as well, and I love to see Hector do that, and I love to see that with CP, the franchise. The MBK does a phenomenal job. They've been grinding on it. I would like to see maybe Sims have a call and talk sports radio.
Even Queen's Court, she knows the sports too. Yeah,
they know their stuff. Getting them over. It's not always the typical, norm. We do have good points as well, and where we could talk about sports as well. So I'm really prideful and very happy to see them on the air all over the waves and waving the New York Knicks flag on TV, not just the podcast. But started here. This is the underground. This is where the real hardcore fans are. But I like that they're bringing them to mainstream media. And when CP went one-on-one with Max Kellerman, he put Max Kellerman to shame on ESPN. He did a hell of a job.
Yeah.
He did
a hell of a job. Yeah. He got over big time.
He did. He brought
it made me
facts,
proud.
Context. Well, he did great. He brought the facts, context. He was objective. CP did an amazing job. He was objective. Amazing job.
Give me a tenth of that, man. I'll take that. I'm very prideful to see that. Someone that looks like us up there doing something like that. Hector, my God, when he sent me the video, I marked out. I was like, oh my, it's phenomenal to see him up there.
I seen this kid Hector. He's freaking interviewing these celebrities.
He's good.
On his show. Awesome. Like it's crazy. I'm like, wow, I can't believe how far his fan base has reached.
And I'm glad you mentioned that. Tomorrow, Knicks Morning Brew. Bill Pito will be on with Hector. Bill Pito will be on with Hector. So let's get them over as well. Let's show our love for them. 11 a.m. If you hit the notification bell, Knicks Morning Brew. Actually, the Morning Brew crew, but it's Knicks Morning Brew Pro show at 11 a.m. They'll have Bill Pito day before this playoff series. Have a really good insider of the Knicks back and forth. Phenomenal job. Good get there for Hector and the crew there, Jiggerman Porto and everyone there doing good things there and getting them over because you know what? That's nuestra gente. That's our people. They're out there doing things, waving that Knick flag. It doesn't matter because we're all brothers in arms, no matter what. No matter if we're Latino, African American, Afro-Americano, or Afro-Latino, we're all the same. We're all the same.
Same environment,
like Knicks Media too. My friend Richie, Knicks Media, awesome content. Subscribe to him too, Knicks Media.
Yeah. And that's it.
Yeah, I know. I know his channel, Knicks Media. Yeah,
awesome.
They do good channel.
They all do good job, all phenomenal job. There's no need to be throwing shade at one another. That's why I like to put the program.
Give shout outs to Knicks Real Talk, and I want to give a shout out to For the
Mhm.
Love of the Game.
Absolutely.
Worldwide, Harwell.
That's where I started there, and Real Talk,
Mhm.
it's Real Talk, and he's out there grinding with Shy Powers, Divine. They're doing their thing as well,
Yeah,
and
Shy
of course that's
Powers,
why
yeah.
they
Tell
doing
and
their thing.
him Alejandro. Yeah.
they're doing their thing.
Mhm.
They're doing they're fighting. They're doing their thing, and that's where we started. That's where I started there. And me and Chef Dan, and we branched away to do all different sports here with not just the Knicks, but and that's a starting platform. So when they do that there,
He's
even
world
if you
proof.
want to give your 2 minutes of listening in and check for yourself, and if it's not for you, it's not for you. Understandable. Not everything. You know what? Not everything is not for everybody, but you know what? Give them a like. It doesn't hurt to hit the like. It's totally free. You know what? If I see
Yeah,
them on,
free.
you know what?
Absolutely.
You're out there because I know how much of a grind it is. It's not just hit the go live button. There's preparation. You're gonna watch the game, retain memory, write things down, and all that stuff. And I respect everyone that does a Nick or any, just even the Cavalier, any content on there. You're giving it your love. If you treat this like a business, you're not going anywhere. To be honest with you, I'll do this with love and passion.
Yeah, you got to go in with like this is a passion. It can't be it can't even really be like a hobby. You have to because hobbies, sometimes you don't do the hobbies. Sometimes you put away the hobbies, and
Right.
this is just something that you have to enjoy it. You have to you come on, you're happy. You know what I'm saying? You feel like good energy. It's like I don't know. I just feel good when I'm like, I was telling my wife that I was gonna come on today, and I was like, oh, it's cool because I get to talk with the community about the Knicks. I don't my people's. Not everybody I know, like my friends are Knicks fans. I'm like I can't talk to my homies about the Knicks because they don't like the Knicks.
That's
so I come on here and talk to my other homies.
That's right.
My internet homies.
And also another thing too, Knicks fans love this team. So don't worry about the negatives. No matter what happens in this series or whatever, enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride. We won 47 games. New York won 47 games. We started off slow, 10-13. We start off in the dust, and then we rinsed like Lazarus. We won 47 games. We were the 5th seed. Come on, be happy, Randall.
The Knicks could sweep, and there'll still be complaints that they should have won every game by 10.
Oh yeah.
Jeez, be happy.
Oh my God!
The Knicks can win the championship.
I get that with the Yankees. I mean, this is one thing. Fandom is fandom. That's what makes it special. I think that's why I like to hear the
Knicks fans are brutal.
The Knicks, Yankee, New York fans put it that way because that's what most of this channel is New York centric. My goodness, the Yankees don't win. Oh, they should have won by 10. They
won the game. Be happy.
Exactly. But it's fun. But that's what makes it fun. Also, I wanted to also put it over and shout out to Still Knicks fan with Ron out there, as well as Stephanie as well. Queens Court, one of my oldest friends on the stream. Stephanie, one of the best, one of the most classiest and gracious Knicks content creator out there. Phenomenal. And of course Chris Woodward as well. One of the all shout out, right before the eve of the playoff game. I just wanted to shout out all those different content creators that does that with all the different Knicks that I had that privilege to be on with them and share a podcast or stream with them. That's been phenomenal. The different people you meet.
Orange Cheers too.
Yes, Uncle Freezy as well. Mr. Uncle Freezy, definitely, absolutely. Blood Orange Tears, indeed. G-Man, have you seen G-Man, by the way?
Not as much. No, not as much. But prayers up to.
I know you talking about G-Man. Yeah,
the Giants. I have not seen him in quite some time on the stream.
Yeah.
Miss seeing him. One of the I had so many laughs with him on the stream. My goodness,
he's a good guy.
He's a class act.
Very humble, very smart.
That's the kind of guy I would love to meet and give him a big teddy bear hug, man, because that's what he seems like. Yeah, he's awesome dude. There, and also Ron, aka L'Esprit, American Dream. I miss seeing him. I haven't seen him on any of the streams in quite some time. He's a big Nick content, a Nick host or guest that will come on and talk basketball. Ron as well, miss him. Also City for Real.
Him too,
I have not seen City for Real in a long time. Kareem.
Me neither.
I have not seen Kareem. I checked his Twitter, and he hasn't posted in quite some years. And I text him on his phone number, no answer back. So I hope, Kareem, if this ever gets to your city for real, we hope to see you around. Hope everything is well. You was an awesome dude that I shared a lot of. One of my first streams with him, he used to come out with the Darth Vader helmet on. That was one of my favorite. Me being a Star Wars nut, he would come out with the Darth Vader and become a Nick Darth Vader. It was great. Kareem.
And also CPD artist too. Prayers up to CPD artist. I miss him too. He was awesome. Very, very creative. CPD artist too. I mean, he was very creative.
Don't forget CT Pittman, CT out there. Streets are buzzing.
Streets are buzzing.
Oh yeah, the
streets are buzzing. Streets are buzzing.
Also, give him over.
You in NYC?
No, I live in Long Island. Live in Freeport.
Okay. It's cool because now I'm saying you got. Like, we're all like New York Knicks fans, but we're all in different zones.
Scattered.
We're scattered. I'm in Puerto Rico. He's in Orlando. He's in freaking Long Island. Like, crazy.
Dan is in Brooklyn. Dan's in Brooklyn. So we're all different places. That's what makes it fun. We were gonna have a guest from Connecticut on. I probably forgot about the stream. He's coming. We're gonna have Connecticut on, so we're gonna be all well versed there. And this, of course, this platform reaches everywhere because we've got people in the chat. Dark Knight from England. We have Philippines. We definitely, when we talk about worldwide, we're worldwide.
It's the Knicks universe.
It's a Knicks universe. It's the Knicks universe, and of course the Jedi Network filling the force around the world, around the globe. So keep that like, hit that like. If you could please share it in your social media accounts. The stream after this program is over, I'm going to start working on the stream so you guys could share it. When you see the notification bell, the more people we get, the more eyeballs it's going to help a lot of our program.
Absolutely,
it helps and continues there because not everyone's going to do watch-alongs. I know Saturday night, we're just going to be ready. I know I'm ready. I'm excited.
Dude, at least the game is on at a decent hour of the day, 6 o'clock.
Yes,
get it
on ESPN. A triple head on ESPN. Then we get ABC, Warriors and Kings. Man, you know what the playoffs is like? It's like Christmas in the springtime. Like
Christmas for men.
Exactly, it's like your birthday in the springtime.
And you know what?
Yeah.
You know what I love about it? Well, they're gonna have it on MSG too. But you could, if you're outside the New York area, you can always mute it and listen to us. I will watch and I will do my best to play by play it. I'm gonna play by play my ass off to do this as best as possible. So come on in, mute them, and you could, and of course, audience participation. We ask the audience to participate in our chats. Don't need to give us super chats, but money is always welcome. Donation is always welcome. But you are part of the channel. You could, we do read your chats. We do highlight it. You are part of the program, so you won't be shut out. And come on into the chat, audience participation. And if you're listening to us on all the audio platforms, come and join us.
What's good about your channel, Kev, is a lot of. I've been on a lot of Knicks channels. Sometimes I don't participate in live chat and I just listen. And one thing I noticed a lot on some Knicks channels that are not fairly popular, and I know why they're not popular, but a lot of the Knicks channels that do lives, podcasts, they don't acknowledge the live chat.
It's true.
Believe it or not.
Same, yeah.
And what you do is, no matter how long you're talking and you're having a conversation, you're keeping a track record of your comments. And you're acknowledging the people that are in the panel, which is very important. And I feel like when you acknowledge the people that are there supporting you, I think that speaks volumes, man. And I'm going to come back to your channel because, you showing me love. Because, I'm speaking like virtually, but I'm speaking,
right.
And you speak on something that somebody said, and I think a lot of channels need to work on that as far as like paying attention to what made them, especially the channels that are big. Like, I don't have to name them,
right?
But they forget that there's a live panel there.
That's
Right.
true.
and they don't even acknowledge them anymore.
Right.
That's
They're
true.
just like, people are writing all this stuff, and they're going up and down, keep going up, but nobody can't even see what you wrote because, like, you know, you're not even like. There's so many comments. I don't even want to read any of them. Like, I don't know. That's just me. Like, I feel like I wouldn't neglect my viewers. You know what I mean?
I agree. And one thing too, another problem with certain channels is that, I'm not to name any names, certain channels just lie and don't tell the whole story. Like, if you want, what I love about what Kev does, Kev always tells the story. Kev, your channel is awesome because you always tell the meaning potential. You give me the facts, and you always tell me the whole story. That's what I love about Kev. He's always honest. Tells me the whole story about what's going on in the games. Most of these channels just lie, make all these crazy wrong beliefs, and just make a whole bunch of hoopla.
But it's not about burying the channels though. They got their style, and that's why I always tell everyone, go and check it out. Because this is what I always tell everyone. Make your own assessment. Take the good from others, and the bad, you just take it. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of things that I frustrate a lot of people. You know, sometimes my pronunciation, or sometimes I get tongue twisted, or whatever. I know I got my areas that we all got to improve. Everyone has an area to improve, you know, and I know that. But the point is, I appreciate, because I tell everybody this, especially you both guys that joining me on this panel. You just guys gave me something that I appreciate and I value, that you're never going to get back, is the time that you spent talking about the Knicks with me. Here, you're not going to get that back. You took a time out from your home, from being a husband, from being a son, you know, from being a father, whatever the case was, to come and talk Knicks on my channel. That's something that I really appreciate and value. I'm not going to take it for granted or waste it. And then everyone that puts a comment there, they took their time to write it, even if the comment might be a little goofy or whatever, or what am I to judge? But you took the time, the effort, and to put it out there, to write it. So I want to at least acknowledge it, because I want to show you my appreciation. Thank you. Because if you didn't come on or write it, I just might as well be in a closet talking by myself, pretty much. And no one's
absolutely.
Then that's why I appreciate it.
And like you said, Kev, you know, doing the podcast is good because there's no awkward pauses.
Indeed.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no awkward pauses. Everybody gets their chance to say what they got to say, and
yes.
keep it moving.
And you keep it moving, because you don't have that awkward pause when you're by yourself too, because it's like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, but other than that, so we'll call this a night here. Almost 2 hours. Wow, 2 hours went by quick. We'll call, because we'll be back on we'll be on for the watch along. I'll probably come on 15 minutes before tip off, just to go over it, get our excitement up in the air, get everyone going, and whoever's going to come in and watch along with us and get excited there. I know the chat's going to be on fire. I'm going to be ready to go, and then we'll do a review for game 2 either Sunday night after that, depending how it goes. And we're ready there. We're ready for the series, because I won't do it Monday, because Monday I believe is game 1 of the NHL postseason. So I'm going to be doing double. I'm going to be putting on my Marv Arbor hat on. I'm going to be calling Ranger hockey. Ranger hockey, man, brother. Yes. Tomorrow night we're gonna have the Yankees watch along, and then we'll do Knicks watch along, and then Rangers. And the thing is, I gotta find a way to squeeze in a wrestling podcast, because I have not done wrestling. So I'm like, oh my goodness, because thank God I don't do MMA. That's someone else's department.
The first time since '94 we get the Rangers, Islanders, Devils, Knicks, and Nets in the playoffs. The first.
I know. I love it.
Don't do so many podcasts. Don't do so many podcasts, bro. You're gonna get the bat to your computer system if you keep on with the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna get the bat to the computer, bro.
But you know what? Just like the Knicks offense, I find balance. I could be doing 9 to 5. I could still be a husband. I could still do my errands, pay my bills online, do all this stuff, and still be able to edit, do podcasts, and have fun and see my family.
You do all your editing, Kev?
Yes, I do everything myself. Well, the thumbnails, awesome, all that, everything. Awesome. They try to find music that I could use, you know, because that's another pain in the rear end. Find some good background music, something good.
Another flag.
Something good to listen to, you know. So you're like, okay, so yeah, that's all that there. But
I appreciate that island music you threw on right now.
That's why I knew you were gonna. I had a little reggaeton one too, but I said, you know, I'll play this one. This one's pretty cool. This one's a little vibe, you know. So you know, we'll mix it up there, a little. You know, we gotta
feeling the vibe.
It's playoff time. We gotta try to win. But again, thank you guys again. Thank you guys, everyone watching, Vernon. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, everyone that's going to listen to us on the podcast platform on Apple. 5-star review on the audio platform as well. And of course, follow us here. If you haven't followed us here on Rumble. I want to also take a minute to say thank you, everyone that's watching us on Rumble. We've been having over 1,500 views on Rumble. You know, I know it's not as big as YouTube yet, but my God, thank you for everyone that watches and tune in, gives that like on all the different watch-alongs. You guys have been awesome in that platform. Twitter as well, Facebook, everywhere that we have our tentacles reaching the BX Sports Jedi Network. Thank you guys again. Not just the YouTube family. Unfortunately, we can only read the YouTube comments because of the platform that we use only allows that to come in. I know you're making probably some comments on Rumble. I'm not ignoring you. Is that we're not able to see you guys comments there. So we ask you continue watching us on Rumble. Hopefully we get that where we could read your comments on Rumble too. We could read and answer back. So we're not ignoring you. So I don't want to say you're talking on your side of your mouth. Is that we don't see it here on this platform. We only get to see the Facebook at times and YouTube. So again, but thank you for the support and the love, and we really appreciate it. So from me to you, may the Knicks be with you, may the sports be with you, and let's go. Game 1. I'm pumped. G, say goodbye, and we'll hit the road.
All right, good night. Goodbye. Stay safe, stay healthy. May the Lord bless you. Be safe. You too. Stay safe, stay healthy, and enjoy the playoffs.
Talk to you on the next one, guys.
All right,
you got it.